Hey, good evening, everyone. Johann Polecsak, CTO and co-founder of QANplatform here. So welcome to today's Ask Me Anything session. As usual, we received a lot of really exciting questions, and I hope to provide even more exciting answers to those. And as always, they have been categorized into main sections, mostly related to private blockchain, the mainnet, some partnerships related questions, also financial and tokenomics and token related questions, and communication related ones, which have been grouped according to these subjects. So we will go through each and answer those. So to begin with, I got the question list from the team prepared, so I will read out the questions, and you can follow accordingly. So the first one, the first section is the private blockchain related group, and the first one goes, "Hi Johan, can you please confirm whether the Quan public mainnet is still the #1 focus for Quan, and if the goal is to rival the top layer ones like Ethereum, Solana, AVAX, etc., or has the priority shifted to being an enterprise private net only blockchain?" So yes, absolutely. I'm happy to answer this question because I saw this has caused quite some confusion recently. So I can confirm with absolute certainty that mainnet remains our top focus, as you will see on our roadmap today. So we are confident that our unique technology stack will provide us very well in our go-to-market strategy, and we really position Quan as a top and key player in the blockchain ecosystem. And just to absolutely clearly clarify once and for all, we haven't shifted our focus in the long-term vision plans towards enterprise or private blockchains, but we do realize that in order to gain real mass adoption, I will talk about this later, you have to start with these building blocks because mainstream mass adoption is always driven either directly or indirectly by enterprise related adoption. So, but we will get back later to that. So, and also to clarify, QANplatform has been from the beginning a hybrid blockchain, and it was built in a way to handle both private and public related deployments, and these are mostly connected together, so they are actually benefit from each other, so to say, but I will also clarify those technical terms. But yes, just again to clarify, our focus has not shifted for the long term towards private or enterprise related integrations. We just start out with this, so there's traffic on the mainnet once it's released. So the next one goes, "Hi Johan, we know the team has been working closely with the enterprise private net partners. However, can you please explain in easy to understand terms why private net businesses need the public mainnet and why they need QuanX tokens? Why can't private net businesses just use the Quan private network and not use the public mainnet?" So this is a great question. Private enterprise integration also works towards making the mainnet more successful. So because we want to be the first blockchain to launch the mainnet with real life use cases, for example, supporting the financial and government sectors, because we really believe, and it can easily be proven, that mainstream mass adoption of novel technologies always originates from the enterprise adoption, as I mentioned previously, and this can happen either directly or indirectly. By that I mean that an indirect factor is, for example, that you are using blockchain services as a consumer in a way that you might even not know you are using it because it's bundled in a product which uses a blockchain technology in the background, or you are interacting with the blockchain directly, which is of course a direct type of integration. So just to clarify, they definitely need to use the public mainnet, and the reason for that is because besides just the transaction volume and on the mainnet, private blockchain use cases also bring trust and publicity from the established enterprises and organizations. So connecting private blockchains, their operated private blockchains to the public blockchain, the mainnet, makes their use cases more transparent and secure. And for this, obviously, they need to purchase QANX tokens to make this feature available. So we are focused also on expanding beyond the retail Web3 space to onboard both enterprise and the Web2 users to the public blockchain, helping to diversify a market currently dominated by retail. This is our long-term strategy. This is what we are committed to. The next question is about SignQuantum. So what value does SignQuantum bring to the Quan ecosystem? So as mentioned previously, beyond transaction volume on the mainnet, private blockchain use cases like SignQuantum bring public insights and transparency from well-established enterprises and organizations. Let me give you an example. So let's suppose a bank is using SignQuantum, and then each time their employees, customers, or vendors digitally sign documents, each signature creates one transaction on their enterprise blockchain. To increase transparency, the bank will publish those transactions also on the mainnet, choosing to do so either individually per transaction or in batches, for example, every 5 minutes. SignQuantum's potential customers, including governments and financial institutions and enterprises that produce a large volume of digitally signed documents, could bring substantial transaction volume to the mainnet. The next section of questions is about the mainnet. The first one is, what modules remain for the audit? Are they currently underway? When did the audit of each module begin, and when is it expected to be completed? How soon after the final audit module concludes, can we expect mainnet to be released? So first, we audited QVM, the Quant virtual machine, which makes smart contracts development possible in any programming language on our blockchain. This was the most complex and time-consuming part. So, and we successfully passed this audit, concluded by Haken on the 29th of July. So QVM is, again, one of our most important components, which makes QANplatform the fastest go-to-market blockchain for developers. As currently we are working through the second phase, the X-Link audit. This involves evaluating our post-quantum cryptography, which will make QANplatform truly future-proof. Following the successful completion of the X-Link audit, we will move on to the main integration audit. And this phase will also cover key modules like the RPC, the database layer, consensus, developer royalties, governance, and token economics. And it is really important to highlight here that the number of modules is not proportional to the time required to audit them. Most of the work was QVM itself, which is already done, as I said. So we can say that roughly 70% of the total audit work is done. And no, there was also a question about why not running these in parallel. And no, the audits cannot be run in parallel since they have dependencies on each other. So to conclude this question, we have 2 audit sessions remaining, X-Link and the main integration audit. We expect to pass X-Link audit in October. After that, based on the auditor's proposed timeframe for completing the audit, we can share the estimated mainnet launch date, which we will share with you. The next question is about the updated testnet. So when will the latest version of the testnet be launched for developers? So we will launch the testnet with the updated components after the X-Link audit has been concluded. And this way we can also include the updated QVM code and the audited X-Link. Based on our estimation, this will happen in October. The next question is about the white paper. Simply, when can we have the updated white paper? So, of course, the functioning product is much more important than the white paper, and all our capacity is focused on delivering the mainnet. So, therefore, a new white paper will be released after the audit of the last batch of mainnet code was concluded. This way, we can incorporate every single detail in the white paper and release a complete and final one. The next question is about the remaining tasks of the mainnet. So generally, what needs to be done in order for the mainnet to be released? Is there more development or audits, both, or something else? I don't expect timelines or technical answer, but a general to-do list would be helpful. So great question. Thank you for asking it. It's something a lot of the community is curious about. So thanks for bringing it up. So our vision of launching the world's first quantum-resistant hybrid blockchain platform where developers can code in any programming language is now becoming a reality. So now is certainly not the time to fear. So we are coming to successfully launching QANplatform. Where you could have been worrying was much more before in the beginning. So generally speaking, getting to the mainnet is a multi-stage process, and we are in the final stretch. We've passed the audit of the biggest chunk of the core development, which was QVM, which is at the heart of QANplatform handling multi-language smart contracts. As for what's left, now we are wrapping up the audit of Xlink, our quantum-resistant security component. It's expected to be completed in October. And once that's done, the final comprehensive integration audit that covers everything from QVM, Xlink, the RPC layer, database, developer royalty mechanisms, and token economics. But reflecting on the question, it's not just the audits. We are also heavily focused on building out the infrastructure that developers will need to thrive on QANplatform. That means expanding the RPC nodes, getting an indexer in place, integrating reliable oracles, and building validator pools. We want to make it as easy as possible for developers to build and deploy their decentralized applications on our network. Also, after the Xlink audit is complete, we will relaunch the testnet with all the improvements, and that will really solidify it as a production-ready environment. Also, it's good news that we will be sharing monthly status updates starting in October, so you'll get a cleaner picture of our timeline as the auditors give us feedback. You can also find all the main roadmap milestones laid out on our website today. So to summarize, it's a blend of final development through auditing and building out a robust ecosystem for our developers. We are really excited about where things are going. The next one is about validator requirements. So can you provide details on the validator requirements? What is the minimum stake size, the anticipated number of active validators, and how do stake size and selection probability rewards correlate? So we do not want to commit to preliminary numbers just yet, as we are still finalizing the variables and modeling the token economy. However, we are working with infrastructure providers who will offer delegated staking services on the mainnet. This means that regardless of the stake size, everyone will be able to participate in validation. The final question in the mainnet section is about marketing. So, is there a marketing plan? And if so, what details can you share about the timelines around commencement? So, as we are approaching completion of our main product, we will accelerate targeted marketing activations according to our strategic plan, especially focusing on developer onboarding. The next section is about partnerships, which is summarized into one question. Can you share some information about the existing and future partnerships? So yes, absolutely. Partnerships are a key part of our growth strategy. Beyond our existing partnerships, we are especially excited about our latest one, which is Sign Quantum. We believe that it will serve as a major catalyst for mass adoption and utility on QANplatform. We will be publicly announcing the first major customer using QANplatform through SignQuantum very, very shortly. We are actively supporting our current partners and expanding our ecosystem across technology integration, enterprise adoption, and developer tooling related to the mainnet, such as RPC providers, validators, wallet integrations, indexers, oracles, etc. The team is currently in advanced negotiations with several of them to further strengthen those areas. We will be announcing more detailed information about these and other upcoming partnerships soon, so stay tuned. The next section is about financial and token-related questions. The first one is QANplatform currently financially sustainable, especially considering the cost of developer salaries, audits, and other expenses? Yes, the project is financially stable. QANplatform has sufficient funds to cover the developer salaries, audits, and core mainnet related expenses. The next one is related to CoinMarketCap. So when will the outdated circulation supply data on CoinMarketCap finally be corrected? So I'm happy to share the great news that this has just been fixed recently. So you will see all the correct information on CoinMarketCap from now on. The next is about centralized exchanges. So are you already in talks with centralized exchanges to list the QANX token? And or can we expect some information about this in 2025? So centralized exchange listings are a key part of the strategic plan, and we are actively working on expanding the list of centralized exchanges where QANX is available. We are currently in discussions with several exchanges and aim to have the native token listed in time for the mainnet launch. The last question is about communication. Dear Johann, the fact is that the quality of the team's communication with the community is very frustrating. Are you going to change this somehow? And if so, when could it happen? Thank you. So yes, we hear the community and acknowledge that there was a lack of communication and there is room for improvement. We understand that you want more insights into the project, and to keep you updated more frequently, we will be sharing a brief monthly status update starting next month. We've also expanded our moderator team to better engage with you all, and we have started the search for a dedicated developer relations team member in order to support the developer community and help to onboard projects on the QAN ecosystem. So to summarize today's session, first thing is that this is not the time for fear. So as I said in the beginning, our vision started years ago to build and bring you the first quantum-resistant and multi-language blockchain solution. And now this vision of ours is materializing into reality. So there's really just the last steps remaining. Now, no one should be panicking anymore. That was in the beginning, whether all this was possible. For the second thing, the audit is absolutely necessary for the launch. Of course, this is not negotiable, so we are not launching without this being completed. And again, as I said, the good news is that only a tiny fraction is left compared to the work which was already done, where the major component to be audited, which took most of the time, was QBM itself. So third, yes, we are working on parallel on enterprise integrations of the private network. But again, to clarify this once and for all of these use cases contribute to the mainnet mass adoption, and they will generate transaction volume on the mainnet, which is in the benefit of every single one of us. So for the fourth, we are also working on integrations with infrastructure providers, exchanges, and all key pillars of the ecosystem. So while the audit is ongoing, the rest of the team is actively engaging in negotiations about this with these partners about the integration of the mainnet into their systems. And last but not least, as I said, so we were work towards working in a bit more transparent way, but also ensuring that accurate information is being shared, because I expressed previously, so writing every second week that yes, the audit is going well and everything is on track isn't really useful information in my opinion. And if we want to get into details, then we are going to subtract time from the very key members who are working on wrapping up all the audits and integrations. And of course, that's a huge sacrifice, but we will find a balanced way to make this happen and also provide accurate and timely information to you, and also let the guys keep working. So thank you once again. Thank you for tuning into this Ask Me Anything session. Thank you for your patience and being here with us on board. I'm glad to have you here.